Hey everybody, Chuck again here. Say in the last video, we talked about the 5 steps of the S&OP process. And what I'd like to do here, I'm going to start sharing the screen while I'm talking here, is look at those 5 steps from a input output perspective for you and I. So on the whiteboard here, let me just kind of put step 1, which is analyze. Step 2, if you remember, is to update the forecast. Step 3 in that process was to, or is to, update the supply, the production plan. Step 4 is the pre-S&OP meeting. And then, of course, step 5 in this process is the actual S&OP meeting itself. So let's look at these from, again, an input output perspective. Okay. And like anything, the output of one step becomes the input to the next step. So if we look at step 1 here and the inputs are typically the analysis of it's collecting the data. Okay. So we're collecting the data so we can go in and analyze the data that we've got in here. So step 1, the inputs are the data, so that the output becomes a recommendations. Here's what happened, but the output becomes a recommendation. Just going to do an REC for recommendation to update the forecast. So then we take that output from step 1, and it becomes the input into step 2, is the recommendation from step 1, and the output then becomes the updated forecast itself. That updated forecast becomes the input into step 3, and then the output becomes, we're going to come up with a updated production plan. This is what we're going to build in support of the updated forecast. Step 4 input is the updated forecast, the updated production plans, and any other issues that get brought to the table, work those things through, and the output ends up being the agreement on what the plans are going to be. So I'm just going to write in plans, the agreed upon plans that we're going to forward and in preparation for the S&OP meeting. And then what that becomes is here's the demand plan, here's the supply plan, here's any outstanding strategic issues that we need to discuss and resolve in step 5. And the output then is the blessed plan and any action steps to begin taking regarding any of the strategic issues that arise. So the reason I'm taking this kind of approach is because it seems to be a good chance within the exam itself to get you thinking about, do you know what is connected to what and what drives what and how the whole thing's connected here. I think it also really reinforces at the same time the idea that, let me stop sharing here, but it reinforces the idea that it's a process that naturally connects people together and communicates with each other and talks to each other and keeps everybody on the same plan.